It's your man Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my take on a short length, low fade self haircut. So let's get right into it. Now to get started with the first guideline, I'm using my Glaker trimmers and I'm just going up a slight bit above my ear or right at my ear. And then once I get past my ear toward the back of my head, I'm dropping it dramatically about 1 inch below the occipital ridge on the back of my head. Remember, for low fades, you want to make sure you're keeping it below the occipital ridge, and then utilize your mirrors to look at both the left and right side of your head so that you don't have one side of your head higher than the other and the haircut comes out crooked from the start. Remember, the first guideline is the foundation of the self haircut. If you get this wrong, the whole haircut will be out of whack. Now moving forward with the no guard lever open, I'm going up about 3/4 of an inch from the previous guideline. So again, 3/4 of an inch going all the way around your head from the previous guideline using the no guard lever open. So here's a pro tip I think you guys would like if you're a beginner or intermediate self haircutter. Buy yourself 2 or 3 LED white 5000K light bulbs to brighten up your bathroom, so this way you can see everything that's going on with your haircut. So now I'm going in with the number 1 guard lever open, going up another 3/4 of an inch, just like I went up with the previous guideline with the no guard lever open. So all of my guidelines, if you haven't noticed so far, are lever open. And notice how I'm also going up 3/4 of an inch for each guideline, right? You want to make sure you're keeping it consistent as you're putting in each guideline and as you're putting in each step for the haircut. The more consistent you are with the fade, with the haircut, with the guideline, with the lever, the more consistent your overall haircuts will be. So now using the number 2 guard lever open, I'm going up another 3/4 of an inch, but because I'm using the number 2 guard and my hair is currently right around the same exact length, not a lot of hair is getting cut off. So I'm really just going up and freehanding, going straight up off my head, going up 3/4 of an inch. So really what this is doing is softening and blending in the current fade to the current hair length on the sides of my head. So this is a really good way to kind of set the boundaries for the top portion of the haircut, so you can go in and start fading everything from the bottom up. So this is the fade portion of the self haircut where most people tend to have their most difficulty with. And it's not too difficult, but it does take a little bit of intricacy and patience, okay? So this is a 3-step process. Because the first guideline was done using my trimmer, this is going to be a 3-step process. So I'm starting off with step number 1, which is using the no guard lever halfway. This is going to soften up the guideline probably around 50%, all right? And then I'm going to go in for the step 2, which is no guard lever closed. No guard lever closed is going to remove probably around 90% of the hard line. So it's not going to remove it 100%, but majority of the hard line is going to get removed with step 2 using the no guard lever closed. And then finally, for the 3rd step to removing the first hard line, we have to go back to the trimmers, which is the same exact tool that we used to put in the hard line in the first place. All right, remember that. If you're ever stuck with a hard line, go back to the same exact guard and lever position that you used to put in the hard line in the first place. In this case, that was with the trimmer. Moving on, we have the half guard lever open to start to soften up the second hard line, all right? So it's a 2-step process to remove the second hard line. We're going to be using the half guard lever open to soften up the hard line. This is going to remove roughly 50% of the hard line. Now, you'll notice because I've got really thick, dark hair, the back of my head, it's a little bit more challenging to blend in, right? I have to sit there for a little bit longer to go back and forth with the clipper to make it a little bit more gradient. So the sides, it's a little bit lighter, but the back, you might have to put in a little bit more work if you've got hair like me where it's dark and thick to really blend in and fade everything out. So now I'm going in with the half guard lever closed. This is step 2, the final step, to flick out the rest of the hard line. This should give you around 95 to 100% of the hard line removed, and if not, don't worry, we always do detail work toward the end of the self haircut. Your goal with the half guard lever closed should be to start underneath the hard line, go up into, hit the hard line, and then flick away with the C-like motion. Now when I say C-like motion, I'm talking about the letter C, like an actual C. So start beneath the hard line, go up, hit the hard line, and then flick out. So now to remove the last hard line, I'm going in with the number 1.5 guard lever closed. So I'm not going in lever open, I'm just going in lever closed. So it's just one step. And the reason why it's just one step is because my hair length, like I said earlier in the video, was already roughly around a number 2 guard. So the 1.5 guard lever closed should be perfect just to go in and flick out right at the hard line without having to risk messing up and going too high into my haircut, because the hair length isn't really that much longer than the 1.5 guard anyway. So I can just go in really nicely with one step using the 1.5 guard lever closed, start from underneath the hard line, go up, hit the hard line, and then flick away to fully remove, I'd say about 90%ish, close to 100% of the hard line. Now this is my secret technique, so don't tell anybody. Nah, just kidding. Tell everybody this technique, because I'm telling you, it's like whoever invented thinning shears didn't have this idea in mind when it came to giving a haircut and blending in hard lines. So using the thinning shears in reverse, amazing technique to blend in the hard lines or any bulk within the fade. So now going in with my thinning shears, just blending it in a little bit better toward the length on the sides by my part line, just making the fade a little bit more gradient, making the colors match a little bit better and have that nice gradient flow from light to dark. This is my version of a short length, low fade self haircut. Let me know what you guys learned, what you liked or didn't like in the comment section below. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel and check out this video for more self haircut tips and tricks.